everyone, this is Lilia Hovhannisyan.
This is Monika Tumanian.
And today in our podcast, The Depth of Armenian Values,
We'll be exploring the depths of Armenia and its unique mythology.
So I guess we should start by telling people that Armenia is one of the oldest countries on earth, and its myths have been rooted in our culture and our nation for more than thousands of years. And
Yeah, and as many people would know, Armenian is the first country that adopted Christianity, and our myths and values, they mostly come from Christianity itself. And our Bible is a big part of Armenians and a big part of ourselves. And our myths, our important myths, our loved myths, they come from the Bible.
Yeah, and I'd say that some of the things that we as a nation value the most is loyalty. 100% loyalty for people around you, loyalty for your family, friends, and those who you are responsible in front of, and also respect for mothers, respect for women and motherhood in general, and respect for warriors, those who protect your homeland, because protection of our homeland is, I'd say, number one thing that we think is the most important thing in our lives, basically.
Yeah, and as Monika mentioned, love for women and mother's motherhood. This is a representation of a character, a myth that Armenia has, Anahit.
Yeah, Anahit was a goddess of motherhood. She represented motherhood, and she represented also womanhood and love and respect for women and those who carry kids and those who give lives, because we value kids and mothers, and it kind of all represents something that we still carry in our hearts. Every single Armenian has a different kind of respect for mothers, basically.
Yeah.
The
next myth that we want to discuss is, as mentioned, also love for soldiers. This follows to a soldier, Vahagan the Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
Who was this big warrior, who was a soldier of lightning, thunder, and war, and he was also known to kill this powerful, strong, undefeated dragon.
And basically, people who were following him have been very loyal to him and have had a lot of respect to him, according to the myth. And I think that's something that we still carry in our hearts till this day. The respect and loyalty for those who protect our country, for our warriors who, go and die during the battles for us, for our country.
Yeah, and talking about war, we also have a woman who represents war, Nane, the goddess of war.
Yeah, and basically I think that's very much symbolic, because something that we respect as a nation, which is womanhood and, respect and love women.
As well as our soldiers.
Yes, and I think that's very symbolic that we have a woman a goddess who not only represents love and loyalty and beauty, but also represents strong characteristics, that she was as much as a strong leading character as any male character would be, and she was very respected amongst that people. And yeah, she was a warrior. She fought the battles.
Yeah, and this whole talk about soldiers and war, it leads to the topic we chose to talk about. Yes. The myth we chose. Arales, who are known to be dogs with wings, who were sent from heaven to heal soldiers who were injured or deceased, pretty much.
Yeah, and the original word Arales comes from, it's a combination of the words Ara, which comes from the Armenian king Ara the Handsome, or the Armenian version Ara Gerezik, and the second part Les, it's a root word for Lezel, which means basically to lick. That's why, because the dogs would come and lick the soldiers' wounds, basically.
Yeah, so that's how the word Arales came from, and the creatures, they're known to heal the wounds, heal the soldiers by licking them. And in general, the first appearance of Arales and the first time that Arales became known was the time where a warrior Ara the Gerezik, which means Ara the Handsome, became known. He was a soldier, he was a strong, fearless soldier who happened to die on the war zone. And the person he was in war against decided to send Arales from heaven, summon Arales from heaven, as a pretty much a token of mercy, or to say sorry. This summoned Arales to heal Ada.
Yeah, and I'll add on to that he was battling against this Syrian queen, and basically she, according to the myth, she fell in love with him, and when he died, she regretted it and realized that basically the war was very cruel, and she tried to be merciful to not only him but also to his nation, because basically they took the life of a very loved leader, someone who Armenian people loved very much. So yeah, she summoned the winged dogs to bring him back to life. But according to the myth, as far as I know, it did not happen, unfortunately. I think it was too late, and basically the power the dogs carried, they couldn't bring him back to life. But
yeah, so pretty much, as everyone would guess, Allah doesn't actually come back to life. The point of the myth is hope, pretty much, that there's this hope that your loved ones will come home, and nothing will happen to them during war zone, in a dangerous area of war.
Yeah, and many years after that, according to the myth, people still believed that those winged dogs, those mythical creatures and creatures from the heaven, would still be amongst the battlefields, amongst their soldiers, carrying protection for them and love for them, and most importantly loyalty, because they would all try and do everything in their power to protect those who are protecting their homeland. So basically people had this hope in their hearts that everything will be fine with their soldiers, that even if something happens and they get wounded, or they or if they're in the verge of dying, the winged dog Arales would come and lick their wounds and basically heal them, or even bring them back to life.
Yeah, and this myth is important to us because Armenia is a country who's always at war. I'm pretty sure everyone can hear that Armenia is being bombed, or like Armenia is in war, our soldiers are dying, and this is just a way for the people of Armenia, the families of the soldiers, the loved ones, to just have a sense of hope, have this sense of feeling that their sons, their brothers, their fathers will return back to them without any injuries, or alive, as one would say.
Yeah, I'm sure your grandparents have told you the stories of Arales too when you were growing up, and I can emphasize that my grandmother have had a really strong belief in Arales, and I remember her telling me stories about Arales, the winged dogs, the saviors, and that even rooted my love for dogs, and I grew up wishing I had a dog, because I truly believed those creatures come from heaven, and they would save us and heal us one day.
And I feel like Armenians are just in general a pretty big fan of dogs in general. They love dogs, and we always see dogs as these loyal companions to us, just creatures that part of our family that we love, they love us, just a loyal companion in general.
Yeah, and I know that even now amongst the battlefields, some soldiers, of course it's not allowed everywhere, but some people carry one dog per army, to have this loyal companionship, because again they see dogs as these loyal creatures. And I think like even in the last couple of years, when we had the war in 2020 in Armenia, I remember my great grandmother, she referred to the Arales myth again, and she basically was telling that people need to believe in them more, because those dogs represent not only loyalty, but they represent hope. And people, like during the wars, hope is the most important thing for us. For the warriors, they need to believe that they will come back, and their families need to believe that their sons and brothers and loved ones would eventually come back and everything will be fine with them.
Yeah, and I also think Arales is pretty much a sense of hope for soldiers themselves.
Yeah.
Maybe when they're in the battlefield in a dangerous area, they have this hope that there's someone watching them, someone near them, you know, someone ready to help them, pretty much. You know, a sense of hope. We might say hope a lot, but
yeah, but it is what it is.
It is, yeah. The point of this myth is hope, love, loyalty,
and that's something that I really see a lot in our culture till this day. We all have this sense of loyalty to the people around us and people we love, and the loyalty to our family and loyalty to your partner, and loyalty in front of your country and in front of your homeland, because we carry the strong, I'd say, urge to protect the ones we love, not only people we love but also our homes and homelands. And yeah, I think this myth is really rooted in our culture, probably more than any other myth we have, and we have a lot. Armenians have a very strong
important
mythology.
Strong myths that are a part of each one of us always.
Yeah, but I think that Arales is something that represents us as a nation the most, and I think that nothing but I wish people knew about it more.
Yeah,
and I wish people
Armenia in general, the country, and Armenian mythology specifically, they're not really known around the world. So many or I would say most people might not know like anything about Armenia. So we want to give our viewers this message for knowledge, pretty much. So each one of you could have information and knowledge about our culture and what's going on in our culture.
Yeah, because I think that if there was a way for people to know Armenia and Armenians as people, I wish they'd known this mythology, because I think that's the most accurate one that represents us as a nation. And I think that's a very beautiful myth to live by and to be represented by.
Yeah,
so
we really love this myth when we found out, and we researched more about it for this project specifically. We were amazed, and we think it's really interesting and really amazing in general of how much love it brings, pretty much.
Yeah, and so much hope, and I think the message of it should be hope, because people stop carrying hope in their hearts, and I stop carrying faith. So I think I wish people would have more hope and beliefs that everything will be fine in their life. So yeah, I think that's what it presents, and thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.
Bye bye.